Out of Strauss at the top. Hands off to Dunn. Dunn moves past Caballero. Kicks into the corner. Leonafa's three on the way. Book it. Candace Leonafa drains the triple. It's a 7-point lead for Davidson. Cats will try and reset on this offense. Garcia sets up a screen for Brundox. Dribbles off the glass and in. Nice move as the lane opened up thanks to the work of Garcia. And Brundox has 5. Strauss sets up the screen. Alvarez into the corner. Brundox three. Makes it rain with a triple. High arcing triple to put the Cats up by 7. They are 7 of 12 from long range. Garcia over for Dunn. Looks for a three. Rims out. Donovan the rebound. Trying to gain some position around Salenvine. Does. And gets the foul to boot. As Katie Donovan picks from where she left off after a 14-point first half, she'll go to the line for a 3-point play.
Wildcats have been called for just 6 fouls, but 2 on each of the 3 players who have fouls.
Donovan another three. She cannot miss. That is 6 3-pointers for Katie Donovan, who has 20.
Tough turnover that last possession there for the Wildcats.
How about another three from Kira Brundox? Cats have 2 players with at least 5 threes. That was Brundox's 5th. Donovan has 6. The Wildcats are 12 of 21 from long range. Now Zavala on the attack. Out for Collins. Back underneath to Zavala. Can't get it through. Deep job defensively by Dunn to help bother the shot. Here's Timerson coming off of a good game, going coast to coast to lay it in. A game like you saw on Saturday can add some confidence. That was a very confident-looking hoop from Timerson.
Yeah, great job by Jasmine to find the seam of the defense, go coast to coast and score.
Neslin watching Alvarez in the corner. Dunn. The rest of her teammates trying to battle for positions. Garcia spinning around the paint to lay it in off the glass. Nice-looking move from the freshman. Put the Cats back on top. Neslin watched by Alvarez. Neslin driving in. Neslin, shot fake. Bounce pass to Hager, and it's knocked away by Donovan to Strauss. Back to Donovan. Donovan one-on-one. Donovan against Snotherly. A pretty move and a better finish. Give the Cats a 3-point lead. Emerson watched by Pashish. Emerson picks things up with 7. Garcia, Donovan steps back. Fires up a three and makes it. That's how you draw up a last-second shot to end the period. Katie Donovan sends the Belcarina fans out of their seats. She's got 17. Davidson's got a 15-point lead going into the final 10. With 10 seconds to shoot, Garcia with a high screen. Dunn on the drive, kicks it out. Timerson for 3. Book it! Asmund Timerson with a home run shot. And Davidson back to a 14-point lead. Duel. Drives into the paint, leaves it for Olstrom. Now to Dugan, on Garcia, here's Dugan all the way to the basket. Launches the hook shot in for 2,000 points. And the fans behind the Richmond bench flashing those signs, congratulating Maggie Dugan on 2,000 points. Here's Alvarez on the drive. Spins around the block, backing in against Sweeney. The hook shot rolls its way in, and Alvarez has 10 points. That Alvarez has 12 points. She's been terrific so far.
Yeah, the Wildcats have had players step up in Donovan's absence. But Davidson's going to need to see Charlize Dunn shine here these last 12 minutes of action.
Not going to win many games when she's held to under 10 points. Usually you can count on her for about 15. You can also count on a 3 from the Richmond Spiders. And it's getting out of the party is Ava Perschetti with a 3 ball. Dina Strauss checks into the ball game. Couple of games removed from an outstanding effort at St. Louis in which she scored 17 points in 24 minutes. So she was limited to 2 minutes in that triple overtime win against Richmond. In fact, a lot of the bench players did not see a lot of playing time despite that long contest for the Cats. Strauss was one of them. She has it in the paint over Omashola and aims it in off the glass. Put the Cats within 3. Now Morgan trying to drive. Step back jumper from the foul line connects for Morgan. Quick 5 points for Morgan, which is the advantage for Fordham. Now Alvarez back at the top, around to Brundox. Over to Alvarez, straight on 3. Bullseye for Elena Alvarez. That's her 5th 3-pointer of the year. Alvarez slowing things down and starts her attack with 10 to shoot. Dunn in the corner, 3 on the way, on target for Dunn, her first basket to give Davidson the lead. Davidson approaching 2 minutes without a point. Dunn for three, breaks the drought. Her second three-pointer. It's a 4-point Davidson advantage. Back for Edwards. Donovan, hand in her face. Now Edwards tries to pick up her drive. Step back three on the way, swirls it down. Lucretia Edwards with a three-pointer. Fordham's done well from long range so far. They're 3 of 4. And they've stayed in this ball game within a point. Rundunks for the answer from three. Knocks down the high arcing triple.
Davidson doing a nice job sharing the basketball. 8 assists on 13 made field goals.
And then there's Strauss acting like a defensive back to get the interception. Now she has it from Dunn. Trying to back in against Wilson Salto. Shot off the glass and in. +1 for Adina Strauss. First player in double figures with 10, and she'll go to the line for one more. Back to Strauss, who had an excellent first half. Dunn for three. Give it to her. Charlize Dunn with her third three-pointer. She is 3 for 5 from beyond the arc, and she joins Adina Strauss as the Wildcat leaders in scoring with 11 apiece. Cats taking up the floor with Timerson. Bounce pass ahead to Donovan. Donovan got trapped momentarily, deals it back to Timerson. She's watched by Edwards. Garcia trying to set up the screen. Instead it goes to Brundunks underneath. Here's Garcia to lay it in. +1 and a three-point play coming up for Ines Garcia. Leaves it for Morgan. Timerson keeps an eye on her. Morgan with a crossover, hands off to Easley. Now attacking against Bessel with 5 to shoot. Easley down the lane, has a shot rejected by Timerson, and a second shot rejected by Timerson. And she draws a foul. Well, that's something you don't see every day. You don't see one block from Timerson. We got 2 within 3 seconds on the same possession.
That was crazy. Timerson, you see that smile on her face, and I cannot believe this myself. You don't normally see a 5'7" guard get a block shot, let alone 2, let alone the same player on back-to-back shots. And like you said, Paul, to add insult to injury, easily with that quick reach in out of frustration. And I don't blame her. I would have been frustrated too if that happened to me.
We did mention that the next foul would be free throws, and that exactly happens for Timerson here. She makes her first. And guess what? Here's another rarity. That is her first free throw attempt of the year.
Wow.
And she makes it.
Yeah, 19th game of the season, first free throw attempts.
Makes them both. How about that? 2 blocks, 2 free throws. If you had that on your bingo card, congratulations. Garcia on the wing at the top. Straight on three for Donovan. Bullseye. Katie Donovan tickles the twine with her second three-pointer. She's got 8 points. And the Wildcat lead is their largest of the night at 23. Leads the break. Bounce pass to Bessel. Morgan able to meet her up. Garcia takes a dribble over to Alvarez in the corner. Uses the Garcia screen, bounce pass back to Garcia, up, bounces in, and the foul. The basket counts. Ines Garcia on the Spanish connection from Alvarez will go to the line for a three-point play.
Yeah, 27 for Donovan in the loss at Richmond on Saturday. One more bucket will get her to be the third Wildcat in double figures.
Right now she eyes up Lily, who fires a three to answer. It's a glass ball that's into the hands of Alvarez. Leads the break, bounce pass to Bessel. Morgan able to meet her up. Garcia takes a dribble over to Alvarez in the corner. Uses the Garcia screen, bounce pass back to Garcia, up, bounces in, and the foul. The basket counts. Ines Garcia on the Spanish connection from Alvarez will go to the line for a three-point play.